Hello everyone, welcome back to Chef Chris again. As promised, I'm going to show you how to make colcannon. Now, there's one thing I do because it makes mashed potatoes a heck lot easier. I'm using mayonnaise. One, it has butter, it has oil. It is basically made of that. And it's emulsified. Now, I'm going to show you the board so far. That is my prep for now, and I'm going to show you how I do this. So, as you can see, and I'm going to wipe my forehead with a towel, my head, no sweat rag goes garbage. So, as you can see, I have salt, sage, both black and white peppercorn in a grinder. I got cabbage, mayonnaise, and red potatoes. Now, first thing and most important thing is always wash your vegetables. You don't know what is ever on this stuff. And always have a paper towel handy to dry them off. So I'm drying that one off. That one is clean. You do the same thing for every one of these potatoes. Because you don't want to eat dirt when you're eating this. It's one of the deep lessons. So, two more to go after this. And then we got the cabbage, which I'll use a different paper towel because obviously this one is not exactly good anymore. So, those are done. But we'll get to the cabbage when we get to cabbage. Importantly, when cooking potatoes, make them small. Make them really, really small. Because then the cook time is a lot less. So I'm going to do this. Well, that didn't work exactly to plan, but that's fine. And be careful not to cut yourself. That's another good bit of advice. So you can see they're really, 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 really small. That should be good. And I never take off the skin because that's where the nutrition is. Even like, it also kind of gives it color as far as I'm concerned. Or just be a pretty bland looking dish. But whatever way you choose, if you choose to get rid of the skin, so be it. That's your choice. It is. Like, as I say, I will not knock you for literally not wanting to keep the skin of the potato on. And that bowl we were using earlier, I cleaned it. And this is going to be for the potatoes. And mixing all this together. So, as I go. This technically is going to be the longest part, is the prep. But I'm showing you the prep this time around because it's important to see how to do this for this one particular dish, because it's all about getting things in a nice fashion to make sure that everything cooks exactly at the same time. Like, you don't want anything to be different in this case. And then we just keep on doing this. Yep. I'm actually correct. Might as well throw that random piece in. This is a small one. Normally red potatoes, like the ones at least I've seen in the videos where the Irish have made these things, made this dish, are quite small. So, but I do not ever have a problem with having large potatoes. Honestly, it saves me a little bit of time. I just believe there's always definitely a better way than just doing this with milk. Just, this one's a bit big, so I'm going to actually do this. Maybe do that. Because this is a pretty thick one. So, going to do that, going to do that. And this, my friends, is dicing up a huge potato. Sorry if this isn't as exciting as you can possibly think, but I'm doing my best. Yeah. That probably should not be used. Oh no. I'm holding people to a standard. random thoughts in my head. Random thoughts. So excuse me for talking somewhat to myself. Honestly, this, at least this one I can go like, yeah. No. Happy. Cabbage, I want to do a little special thing with. It's going to require a pan and garlic. I didn't take out the garlic, as you can see, but I'm going to take out the garlic once we get to the point where I can, as you can see, that is the potatoes. And now, hot water, so we can get this cooking faster. Alright. Actually, probably less than water. Okay. Gonna put this on the back. Gonna turn on that. Gonna put it to 7. Put to 7. Now, as I always say, wash out your blade. Even though that is technically still a plant, I still would rather expressly make sure I have a clean plate all the time. So, now comes the part with the cabbage. Now, I'm not sure about anyone else, but I do not think I want to utilize outside lead at all in this case. Cool. That can go into my mix of vegetables, such, for my stock that I will make eventually. I'm just going to shove it in there. That goes back in the freezer. And now let's cut this better. So get rid of the bottom so that now it doesn't move. This can also go, this can go in the garbage. Alright. As one might think, there we go. Got one piece of the cabbage like that. Got another piece like that. I'm only using a very, very, very small, minute part of this. And I suggest don't really follow that exact technique, because I guarantee you're just going to lose your lens. Yep, I'm making it good enough. All this stuff. So basically, more surface. It's kind of how I am at this at home. Actually, forget pan. I think I'm going to use a bowl, like a pot for this. Actually do what I normally do with this. In order to make this have a perfect garlicky taste to it, because I can add garlic to this. Not sure what some traditionalists would think, but you know what? Alright, that looks pretty darn good. Let's put that up. Alright, I need to get a bowl for this. That's the fun part, getting it at the top. Now we got a lot more than that. More than those. I say the other Dutch oven will do. Worry about that. Close it later. Alright. As you can see, I have the Dutch oven. I'm going to take my cabbage. I'm going to dump it in there. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to dump it in there. Now, I'm going to put a good amount. In this case, it's going to be cooked, so I'm just throwing it in. Alright. That's going to be good. I need my garlic. Of course, find the bag that opened of garlic. There it is. Should be still good. Yeah, that is good. So we're going to need yeah, that seems like a good amount there. Oh. And I'm going butter. Butter, of course. You know what? Let's use the last of the Kerrygold. Less of the Kerrygold. A lot of mess, right? Yeah. Alright, that can go there. This whole box goes in garbage. Now, we are not adding the garlic yet. We're going to just mince this sucker. Mince it, but I'm going to add it last second. So I'll tell you, it is not going to look pretty if I don't. There's garlic when it's like this is that's not good. Alright. Takes very little time to actually cook it out. That's also why you should be careful when you do this. Alright. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to watch this again. Because right now, what I'm going to focus on is getting some oil into this and some butter. So, as I said, I have Kerrygold. It's Irish butter. You can't go wrong with making an Irish dish with this butter. I'm going to use the olive oil, of course. Have a bit of oil. That's on. Now, here comes the fun part. And now you see why that is not exactly. Yeah. Not wasting Kerrygold. Heck no. Let's see. Ah! Shit. Oh. Sorry about that. I nicked myself a knife and I literally went like crap. I can't contaminate this food. I didn't. There's no blood in it. I swear by God, no human at all contaminants with this. As you can see, I got my butter, I got my all together. That's going on the stove. Now let's put that one to the front. Going to set that to a 6. I'm hoping by God's sake this works. This one boiler, this one pilot makes me wonder. Like how I'm holding it now, it's not that bad, but before it was that was wrong way for me to attempt to chop anything, and I hope you guys never repeat that same mistake. As you can see, I have a band-aid on my hand. Don't worry, it is also a very good one. These don't come off as easily as most tend to do. And now, since we are done over here, we're going to do this. Yeah, it's working. This is for that one. I'm going to utilize the next biggest one. That's small. This is the next biggest one. Kind of to swirl around my potatoes. That. I'll put it right like that. Alright. We need sage, we need my spices. So basically, I'm going to open up your sage. Yeah, that didn't get it. Bit of sage. Pepper. And salt. Need that salt and all that later on. As you can see, I'm just swirling this about. It's going to be the first in a long time since I've actually done a long form content video, but I think you'll generally enjoy this one because this one really does set along what I would say. Make sure nothing can burn. Sometimes boiling potatoes takes a while, so let's see. So far, so good on the meatloaf. Alright, let's see. Got there, let's see. Smell the cabbage. Cabbage is good. Let me quickly get my garlic. Let the melon stew without dropping things. Bit wasted. Alright, let's translucent. Alright, now I think I can dump in the garlic. Throw that in there. And you could definitely smell the garlic in about... I'm going to keep an eye on this. This will help give the cabbage and colcannon its flavor. Alright, I think I'm going to take it off. Yeah. I'm going to put that over here. That's off. I'm going to get my... Nope. There we go. Now, as that's happening, I'm going to have to find a way to really keep this cabbage from going bad. So let me see this. Found it. As it said, I will watch my thing. Alright. Shove it into this. In bingo, we have the cabbage is away. Actually, until I'm ready for the mayonnaise, I'm putting that right back in the fridge. So lots more idea. Alright. Oh. Watch the potatoes. Move on quickly into sesame. it's heavy. The board is quite heavy. No. I am looking over. I am making sure it's not boiling over. Let's clean as go. Washing the big spoon, so I can just use that versus the smaller one. Because this way I can literally see this. Yeah, it needs a lot more. I'm gonna raise it up to 8. God dang, that cabbage smells godforsaken good. But I have to get it on my masher. Yeah. In this household, I don't have a good enough blender to make this really good that way. But I can mash it, and that's why I use the mayonnaise, is because it just makes it 1,000 times easier. And also gives it kind of a flavor too, like really. Gonna pause this until like it reaches a point where I can do anything. Alright, you're facing that because we're going to now finally remove the potatoes from the pot. So there. You want to now take that over to here. Get that out underneath here. Cool. And now that and now little stragglers get in. Probably not. Yeah, that's not a big issue. Now comes the next part. Mashing. As I said, I like to use mayonnaise in this particular kind of way of doing mashed potatoes. It just really works out better. I'm gonna make, that's a lot for some people, but honestly, you'll see how spot on this gets. Normally I would add like mustard to a mashed potato, but you know what? In this case, we don't. Actually, let's do it over there. That sounds like a much smarter, much more better way of doing this. So, as you can see, I'm just trying to tip it. Trying to tip. Alright. Because I heard that go and almost crap. Listen, destroy my stove and process. That would not be fun, especially yeah, and if anyone's wondering, yeah, hand doing this, it's not always fun. And see how easy this is getting to mash? This is what mayonnaise sometimes is better. Almost here. Let me tell you, this is a workout on my arms. Alright. We're not done yet. Now, remember that cabbage? It now plays a part now. So, I'll dump this in. And that's also, quite frankly, not bad taste for the cabbage. Getting some of that, getting some of the sage, and I'm going to get some of the salt. There we go. That should be good enough for this. And now we just smash that already also into this mess, this beautiful dish. Actually, dang good, very good. I would actually say this is my best colcannon I've actually made. Made before, wasn't this perfect? And now I'm going to put this away. And that, everyone, is how you can make colcannon. As simply as I can say this is what colcannon is. Irish mashed potatoes is potatoes, mashed potatoes, and cabbage. Or if you don't like cabbage and you like kale, you may use kale. But it has to be either cabbage or kale with mashed potatoes. Everything else, if you want to add garlic, go right ahead. If you want to add anything else, go right ahead. And by the way, this is actually my real accent. I was born in this country, but I have an Irish accent. So, go figure. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Chef Chris out. Peace. See you in the next video. Looking forward to it.